Hi, this is Buck Baskin with AdultBibleStudyCurriculum.com, and in this lesson on follow-up, I want to talk about kind of the levels of follow-up as I see it. Basically, I kind of say it's like different levels of emergency. Like you have your small dangers and you have your flat-out code red, and that's kind of the way that I see it. And so we're going to walk through this. First is just the first visit. Anytime that someone comes, you want to make sure that they get connected when they're there, that you check on them before they leave, and that throughout the week, at least once, maybe twice, you follow up with them. See how they liked it. See if they have any questions. Invite them to what you have going on. And this is just a natural thing I think that we think about with follow-up is that first visit, trying to make sure people are connected and that they want to be a part of what you're doing. Then there's the haven't seen you in a while follow-up where, maybe you want to get organized and say, hey, when somebody's been out for 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks, maybe a month, it's up to you. You just call them and say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, and figure out what happened. Maybe they found another group. Maybe they've been sick. Maybe they just had a kid. You may find an opportunity to minister. You may realize you had done something wrong. Maybe you can write it or at least learn from it for the future. And this is usually just a cordial phone call, maybe just kind of, hey, see what's going on. We're just curious where you've been. And it could be a learning experience. All right, then you have the lost sheep. And to me, this is the person that's just completely checked out of the church, and it's been a while. And for some reason, they slipped through cracks or something's happened. And you may really want to go out and pursue them. You may want to start with a phone call, or you may want to, go ahead and maybe do a home visit or something like that if there's something they're comfortable with. But this is, like I said, the person who they've been out for a while, but you really know that they need to be part of what's going, and so you take it up a notch a little bit. They haven't found another group, they haven't got connected somewhere else, and so you go on. This last one, the stubborn mule. To me, this is the person who has stopped coming, or maybe just came once, but they are really wrapped up in sin. I mean, sin is just destroying their life. Now, sin destroys all of our lives, but you know what I'm talking about, where they're just fully immersed. They've turned their back on God. They've turned their back on the church. To me, this is a very aggressive, just prayer warrior follow-up. I'm going to go out and do whatever it is I have to do to reach this person, my group coming with me to reach this person, until they experience life change and they come back and be a part. And the reason that I changed this one from the lost sheep is this the person that's just blatantly against anything that have to do with church or maybe your small group or what God wants to do in their life. So there's that level. But this is also the part to me where no longer can you even be fearful of losing a relationship. It's just that important where you may have to really get in their face and just speak the truth of, what, you're throwing your life away, you're running from God, this is where you're going to end up. You need to be a part of this community, you need to change, and you need to turn. So it's a lot like the lost sheep kind of follow-up. To me, it's the tone of conversation changes and that sense of urgency changes. We should have a sense of urgency at all times. We've talked about that before, about reaching out. But this is that one where it just really hits you that something's wrong, something's happened, and I'm not going to sleep, may not eat, do whatever it takes to go out and reach this person. And they may turn me away, and that's okay. But I'm going to do everything in my power to reach out to them. So these are kind of just the levels of follow-up that I see. You may be able to think of some others. But like I said, the general thing's the same. I mean, you always want to reach out to people. You always want to pray. It's just, to me, steadily the tone of conversation changes, the sense of urgency changes, maybe the types of questions or ways that you follow up might change. And it's just good to keep these things in mind as you go out and reach out to those people who are part of your group or maybe have drifted away.